All right. Welcome, everyone, to the first game in the 1967 Pennant Chase American League style. Today's game is being played. It is the September 2nd game between the Detroit Tigers and the Minnesota Twins from Metropolitan Stadium in Minnesota. Denny McLain on the mound against Dave Boswell. So let me see if I've got everything focus-wise the way I would like it. I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do with what I have. This is, of course, Inside Pitch. Hello, Brian. How are you doing? This is the Inside Pitch, 1967 style. You see the lineups, the benches, and the bullpens for both teams. There's Metropolitan Stadium. Adds 1 to strikeouts, takes away 1 for walks, and there are 4 home run chances on the ballpark card. All right, got my score sheet, everything ready to go. I do have the base running adjustment sheet here, and I will pull that out when it's needed. Nothing dramatic in the outfield for either team. No one's a +2 or a -2. We've got a couple of -1s. Al Kaline in right field is a -1 arm. And let's see, anybody else -1? That's it. He's the only -1. The other outfielders in Detroit, Northrop and Horton, are zeros. And for the Twins, all their outfielders are zeros, except for Allison, who's a +1. So not a whole lot of changes based on the regular adjustment for that. So, like I said, this is, if anybody didn't catch the video from yesterday, this is on the project for the 1967 Pennant Chase. Hello, Chuck. Hello, Doug. How you doing? And of course, I played Chicago-Boston already, and Chicago waylaid Boston 11-1. So now the September 2nd game for Detroit, Minnesota is right now. Next game will be on September 3rd, the next day in the 1967 season. I'll be playing Detroit, Minnesota offline using Inside Pitch. And the video, which will be on Sunday, is going to be Chicago at Boston. Don't know if that's going to be recorded or live just yet. We shall see. I do have Tabby with me, and I do have Gracie. I've got both of them here. They are right now, knock on wood, they are both quiet. Don't know how long that will last. We shall find out. And hopefully they will cooperate with me. But they're animals, so they're unpredictable. Never know what's going to happen. That is correct. These are the, and now there's actually some guys on here might be on the roster. I have to update this because when I did this, I hadn't printed out the extra players. I think there's an extra player on the Twins named Izquierdo, who's an extra catcher that could be there. But there's enough guys there. I mean, this is 1967. There's not a whole lot of, hello, Kent. How you doing? There's not going to be a whole lot of, mass substitutions. Boswell can face 27 batters, and McLain can face 26. So unless they start to get shelled, I'm looking for, multiple innings by the starters. And, like I said, I haven't done a video on Inside Pitch since January. That was the end of the 1993 World Series that I replayed, or the season I replayed. And so I had to get my feet wet on the game yesterday offline. So I'm hoping I didn't lose a step. We shall see. Don't know if RJL will come in later or not. I know his birthday is tomorrow, and he's all excited about going to see his Mets play the Marlins. But hopefully I can get through this without too many, bad things happening, mistakes or whatnot. So let's get this game underway. Boswell is your pitcher. Dick McAuliffe, second baseman, will lead things off for Detroit. And we are underway from Metropolitan Stadium. And, of course, the blue die gets stuck, so I'm going to re-roll everything. Don't know how that got stuck in there. I don't know how that got hung up. That's probably... Thank you, Brian. I just... like I said, I don't think I have any issues, but if I do, if I get stuck on something, it's nice to have a second pair of eyes on everything. So let's try this again. Hopefully I won't get stuck in the tray. There we go. 2-2. 2-2 on Boswell is a walk plus. So McAuliffe walks at a 19. The plus is going to add 10 to that, makes him a 29. The 1 obviously fits, so Dick McAuliffe will draw the leadoff walk to start the ball game. Not exactly the best way to start if you're Dave Boswell. McAuliffe has an attempt of 1, so he has to get a 1 to be able to get a jump. He does not, so he will stand pat. I say get a jump. It really probably means get a lead. That's probably the better way to say it. To get his lead, I use the word jump and lead kind of interchangeably. So here is Stormin Norman Cash. Infield is halfway. 1-1. That's a range play at the park. So range play at the park, and if it goes to an infielder, they are halfway, and that will lose 1 on their range. We get a 4-6, and that is a fly to center field, so it's not going to, being halfway is not going to matter. Center fielder is Ted Eulander. His range is a 3. So can Eulander make the catch is the question. He cannot. Is it going to be a single or a double? It will be a single to center field. Now the question is, can the runner, McAuliffe, who is a 4, can he get to third base? He's a 4. Let's go to our chart for runner advancement. Since Eulander has a 0 arm, a single to center field to go from first to third is a -1. So that makes McAuliffe down to a 3. So a 1 to 3, and McAuliffe will make it. It's a 1. He does make it. And since it's a 1, it's a chance for Cash to move up on the throw. Cash's BR is a 2, so he has to beat this to move up. He does not. He stays at first. So runners are at the corners as Norm Cash gets the base hit. So a walk and now a single on that failed range play. Puts runners at first and third. Nobody out. Tigers looking to strike early. The infield is playing for double play depth. They're going to try to limit the damage if possible. Strategy roll, nothing happening on that. Boswell to K-line, infield is back for the double play. We get a 6-5, and that's a possible wild pitch. That's a 5. It's not possible anymore. That's an actual wild pitch. So scoring is McAuliffe, and going to second is Norm Cash on the wild pitch. So an inauspicious start for Boswell. He's starting out much like Jim Lonborg did in the game I played this afternoon. So home team's not faring too well in this one. Strategy roll now with the runner at second. And, of course, the infield now back. Boswell to K-line. 5-5. That's a home run question mark. It's even worse now. 1-7, but that fails. That's a good thing because K-line might have gone deep. But K-line will swing. 6-6. He's going to go deep anyway on a double to center field for Al K-line. And the Tigers lead it 2-0 as they are jumping all over Dave Boswell. As this Tigers lineup is thumping Mr. Boswell. And the fans just getting into the stands here at Metropolitan Stadium are a little chagrined. It's now 2-0 Detroit. Still nobody out. And that brings up Willie Horton. Boswell needs out in the worst way. 4-6. This is a possible error. We'll see who the error chance would be on. Go to Horton's card. Horton 4-1 is a single to right field. The 11 there is for the error for the right fielder Oliva. His error rating is only a 2, so there's no error, but it's a single, so we'll see if the runner can score on the base hit to right field. Again, we go to our runner chart, and single to right, score from home, is a +1. You add 1 to the run rating. So the run rating of K-line is a 4. It now becomes a 5. So anything other than a 6, and he will score. It's a 6. He does not score. Let's see if somebody's thrown out. So now let's see. The outfield arm for the right fielder Oliva is a 0. So that means on the second, or 1-3, we go to the third chart. 4-6, the runner holds. It's a 4, so he's going to hold at third base. So, yes, I am, Brian. I am. I'm going to play the Cardinals against whoever wins. So, single, but the runner had to hold. K-line couldn't score. So runners are at the corner. Still nobody out. Boswell might need a visit from the pitching coach because he's a little shaken up here to start the ball game. And that's going to bring up Eddie Matthews, who they picked up from the Houston Astros in a late season trade. Infield still double play. They need outs. Boswell, 2-1, strikeout chance 7, finally gets the first out of the inning as Boswell strikes out Matthews. And he is still in his Houston Astros garb. And here's Bill Freehand. So a double play could get him out of the inning now. We'll see. Boswell, 2. Let's see if anything's happening on 2. Willie Horton, can he get a jump? No, he cannot get an attempt, so nothing going on there. Boswell, 1-2 is a double star, is an asterisk, double star. I forgot what I used to call it all the time. Star line, I think is what I used to call it. So it's a star line, and the star line is a 2, which is a ground ball to first. Possible double play. Now, the first baseman does not get the boost for playing halfway. So we stick this with a 2. The pivot, or the pitcher, is a 0. The pivot at shortstop is Versalis. He's a -1 pivot. It's going to drop it to a 1. This has to be a 1 in order to be a double play. It is not. So the run's going to score. It is a fielder's choice, but the run will score. Goes 3-6. K-Line scores. It's 3-0 Tigers. That is out number 2. But they could not turn the double play because of the -1 pivot for Versalis. So fielder's choice and Freehand's aboard. He cannot get an attempt to steal. So now Northrop. The only way he could get an attempt to steal is on a hit and run, but we're not doing that. So Boswell, nothing on the strategy, to Northrop. 1-6, strikeout chance 11. He's a 10. Stadium adds 1, so that's a strikeout to end the inning. So for the Tigers, they pick up 3 runs here in the first. They do it on 3 base hits, no errors, and 1 left. So we go to the bottom of the first. It's Detroit 3, and the Twins coming to bat. They got the work cut out for them against Mr. Denny McLain. So there you are, Mr. Chuck. Your Tigers are doing well to start the ball game. Of course, there's 9 innings, or 8.5 innings to go, and with inside pitch, anything can happen. All right, McLain now to Eulander. 6-3, and that's the ballpark card. So we're going to Metropolitan Stadium for Eulander's at bat. That's a 4-3, which is a question mark 9. That's a 2, so that's going to be a single to right field for Ted Eulander. So Eulander will get himself a leadoff single. Mr. Eulander. His attempt is a 2. McLain adds 1, gives him a 3. So it's 1-3 for an attempt. That's a 7. Nothing's happening. Here's Rod Carew. Infield is halfway. McLain 2-5. He's not tired, so there's no single there. We go to Carew. 6-4. That's a ground ball to second. Possible double play. He's a 2. Infield's halfway, makes it a 3. Pitcher does not add anything to that. The ground ball went to second base. So the pivot is a shortstop. In this case, that is Euler, and his pivot is a 0. So we're going to have 2, and halfway makes a 3. So it's a 1-3. They will turn the double play. They do. That's going to be in the inning. 4-6-3 double play. Actually, it's not going to end the inning. My bad. It's the second out. So Eulander reached, but is quickly erased on the 4-6-3 double play. So leadoff single goes for naught. 2 quick outs, and Harmon Killebrew is your batter. All right, let me see what you're saying here, Brent. Was a run on first a 3 BR? You talking about Eulander? Eulander's a 4 BR, or were you talking the previous inning with Detroit? With K-Line, he was also a 4, so I'm not sure. Top of the first. K-Line, no, Horton, I'm sorry. Horton was a 2. Horton was on first base, and he was a 2. He was a 2, and so Freehand grounded into the fielder's choice, not a double play. So, like I said, it didn't affect anything. So, All right, here's Killebrew. McLain, 2-1. Strikeout chance 20, though, is way too high for that. So Killebrew will swing it. 3-1, and that's a star 5, which is a fly to left, and it's a relatively mild inning for Denny McLain. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left thanks to the double play. At the end of 1, it is Detroit 3, and the Twins, nothing. So Mr. Boswell is going to have to regroup. Hello, Mr. RJL. There you are. Glad you are here, Mr. RJL. Oh, that's right. I forgot your Panthers are playing. I knew about your Marlins tomorrow. The game of the week tomorrow, NBC game of the week, has been bumped back to 2 o'clock due to some personal things I got to get taken care of in the morning. So I know you'll be on your way to the game, RJL, so maybe you can catch it later or listen on the radio as you're driving. But it will be 2 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, not the normal noon time. It's pushed back to 2 o'clock. Braves and the Dodgers on Stratomatic. All right, right now, Ray Euler leads it off against Boswell. 1-4, strikeout plus, and Euler will be out of there on strikes. So 1 away, and see if Boswell can maybe regroup after that rough first inning. Here's Denny McLain, a 118 hitter. Not very good, obviously. Boswell, 4-3. That's a strikeout, and he's going to definitely strike out on that one. So Boswell with the K. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Boswell. He struck out Northrop to end the first, and now he struck out Euler and McLain to start the second. Here's Dick McAuliffe. He walked and scored first time up. 3-1, and he's going to walk plus. That means he's going to walk again. So Dick McAuliffe has walked for the second time. 2-out walk to McAuliffe. And his attempt is only a 1. So nothing happening. He's not going to go anywhere. Norm Cash, the batter. 3-2. That's a range play, but the infield is back because there are 2 outs, so it won't change that. 1-4 is a ground ball to third, so the range check is on the third baseman, Cesar Tovar. His range is a 2. So let's see if he can get to it. He can. He will make the play. He'll just going to go to first because it's the third out of the inning. We won't have to worry about whether or not there's a double play chance. We'll just say it goes to first to make it simple. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 3-0. Hello, Jimmy Jam. How you doing? I'm glad you're here, Robert. You missed it earlier. I think I was talking about. I was hoping you would come because I'm playing my first 2 games in 3 months. So some of the rust is showing on some of these rules. So I want to make sure I'm good on that. Brian B is going to help me out as well. But it's always nice to have Mr. Inside Pitch right here with me. So here's Tony Oliva. McLain, 5-1's a strikeout chance. 4 got him. So Oliva out on strikes. That's the first strikeout for McLain. That will bring up the power hitting Bob Allison, left fielder. 6-6 for McLain is a blank. We go to Allison. 3-6, and that's a ground ball to second. Easy play for the second baseman, McAuliffe, and that's 2 quick outs. McLain is making short work of Minnesota. Here is Cesar Tovar. 2-2 is a blank. We go to Tovar's card. 5-5. That's a single to right field for Cesar Tovar. So a 2-out single for Tovar. And let's see if he can get a jump. His attempt is a 3, but McLain adds 1, makes it a 4. And it's 5, so it'd be a hit and run, but with 2 outs, you're not going to hit and run with 2 outs. So Tovar will just stay pat where he is, and Zolio Versalis is your batter. McLain, 5-4. That's a walk chance. 1. He's going to walk him, so Versalis will draw the walk, and all of a sudden a 2-out rally for the Twins, possibly. But it's going to bring up the light-hitting catcher, Jerry Zimmerman. So he's going to have to do something to get the team on the board. Strategy roll, nothing happening. McLain, 5-5. That's a home run question mark. Goes to 15. That's a 4, so it passes. Zimmerman needs a 3 or less to hit a home run. Does not get it, but does get to swing. So Zimmerman can't get the homer, but Try to get a hit. 1-1. He does. It's a single past third base. That's just going to load the bases, though, because to score from second on an S5, you need a 5 or better. And the runner, Tovar, actually, Tovar will score. He was a 4, and there are 2 outs, so he does score. I take that back. Tovar will come around to score because with 2 outs, he becomes a 5 base runner, and that's what you need. So Zimmerman gets an RBI single, puts the Twins on the board at 3-1. And now the pitcher Boswell is up. McLain, 5-4. That's a walk chance, but he's not going to walk the pitcher, so Boswell will have to earn it. 5-1. Starline 2 is a ground ball to second. That's going to end the inning. So for the Twins, they get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 2, it is Detroit 3 and the Twins nothing. I'm sorry, Twins 1, rather. They just scored the 1. All right, we go to the top of the third. Hello, Scooney, if I missed you earlier. Here's Al Kaline, the batter. He doubled and scored his first time up. Boswell, 5-1's a walk chance. He will definitely walk Mr. Kaline, so Al Kaline draws the free pass. And Boswell continues to have struggles as giving up those free passes. Kaline's attempt is a 1, so not likely he's going to get to go anywhere. He does not. So the hit and run possibility, but with Willie Horton, we're going to have him swing away. We're not going to do a hit and run with Willie Horton. Here's Boswell, 1-6 strikeout chance, 18 too much. Go to Horton. 3-3 is a liner to third base for the out. Possible double play. On a liner to third with a runner on first, you need a 1 for it to be a double play. It is not, so runner gets back. 1 away, but Kaline gets back. Horton hit it hard, but right to Tovar for out number 1. And here's Eddie Matthews. Nothing happening. Boswell, 2-4. That's a strikeout chance. 9. Got him. So Eddie Matthews is out on strikes for out number 2. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Maybe they want to send him back to Houston. All right, here's Boswell. Nothing happening. Here's Freehand. Freehand grounded to a fielder's choice last time up. 3-2 for Boswell is a range play. Go to Freehand's card. 6-3. It's a fly to right field. We're checking the range of the right fielder. And in this case, that is Mr. Tony Oliva. His range is a 4. And he makes the play. So that's going to end the inning as Oliva makes the fine catch to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 3-1 in favor of the Tigers. And now due up for the Twins will be top of the order of Mr. Eulander against Denny McLain. Thank you all for spending part of your Friday evening with me. McLain, 6-6 is a blank. We go to Eulander. 3-3, and that's a star 5, which is a fly to left, 1 away. So Eulander is retired. 1 down for Rodney Carew. 2-1, strikeout chance 4. He got him. So Carew was out on strikes. 2 down. And I think this is the only season Carew hit less than 300. His rookie season of 67. I believe every other season he hit 300. Maybe his last season he didn't, but most seasons he hit over 300. Here's Killebrew. McLain, 4-2. A straight up home run chance on that. And that's not a good idea to do that to Harmon Killebrew. So can we say it, RJL? Kaboo. Home run, Harmon Killebrew. Cuts the lead to 3-2. Danny McLain put it where he didn't want to, and Killebrew sent it into the evening. So here's Oliva. McLain 1-6 range play. Go to Oliva. 2-4, and that is going to be a split chance. It's a double to center field, but it is a range play. Range play for Jim Northrup. Northrup's range is a 3, so this is a big play here to take the double away. And he does, so Northrop robs Oliva of a double as he flies to center. But the home run by Killebrew cuts the lead to 3-2. 1 run, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. At the end of 3, it is Detroit 3 and Minnesota 2. So at least this is a lot closer than the Chicago-Boston game was that I played earlier yesterday when it was such a blowout. All right, so Northrop, after making that nice play, will lead off the inning. 1-5 is a range play, so we go to Northrop's card. 1-6, that's a star 4. Ground ball to third. We're checking Tovar again for his range. He is only a 2. And he cannot get it. Is it going to be, let's see, it was a G5, so it might be a double. Nope, it's just going to be a single. So a leadoff single for Jim Northrop as he sneaks it by Tovar to start the inning. Northrop attempt is a 1. Nothing happening. So here's Euler. Boswell, 4-6. That's a possible error. 2-6 is a ground ball to third. We're checking Tovar for an error. His error is a 12. That's an 11. So Tovar has just booted it, and that will put runners at first and second. Tovar's error is a 12, and that's an 11. So he boots it, E5, trying to hurry up and try to get a double play, and he doesn't get anything. So 2 are on, nobody out, and the pitcher, Denny McLain, is up in an obvious bunt situation, you would think. Not a very good bunter, though. Bunts as a 2, or I'm trying to remember this game is 2 better or 1 better. Obviously, the higher number you get, the better bunter you are. So 2 is not very good. Do they want to have McLain? It makes sense to make him bunt, regardless. I'll check. I'm not even going to check a strategy roll. I'm just going to go ahead and bunt because it just makes sense to do so. So Boswell will pitch to McLain and checking for a strikeout possibility. That's a 6-1, and that's a pitcher result. That's a 6 over here, but I believe the bunt overrides this particular thing. I'm going straight to the bunt now. And he is a 2. Corners in, makes him a 1. And we're going to roll 1 D6 and 1 D20. D6 tells you who to field it, and D20 tells you the result. That's a 3, so that's going to be a good bunt because it's such a low number there. The 2 is the pitcher, so he bunts it back to Boswell, and McLain gets it done. It's going to go 1-4 on the sacrifice for 1 away, but it's going to put the runners in scoring position. And now the Twins are going to bring the infield in, try to choke off that run. Infield is in. Northrop run at third base runs as a 4. Putting them in will make him a 2. So they're going to see what they can do with that. Here's McAuliffe. Nothing happening. Hello, Philip. How you doing? Boswell to McAuliffe, infield in. 4-6, possible error again. 5-3 is a fly to right field. That's Oliva. He's a 2. That's an 8. So no error there, but we're checking now for a sacrifice fly. He is a 1. And it is a sacrifice fly. McAuliffe does it. McAuliffe with a sacrifice fly to right field. And I believe, RJL, since that was a 1, the runner on second now has a chance to go to third, but can you confirm that for me? So I'm thinking that's what it is. I'm thinking that's the case when that happens, but I don't want to be presumptuous, but I think that's what happens when you roll a 1 there. You say correct. Okay, so the runner on second is Euler. He's a 3. The arm, Oliva, is a 0. So I'm assuming 1-3, he'll make it. He does, so he will make it to third on the play. So it was deep enough for him to take third base with 2 outs. So now, run is in. Tigers lead it 4-2 on the sacrifice fly by McAuliffe. And now that brings up the very dangerous, very, very dangerous Norm Cash. Boswell, 3-4. Uh-oh, that's trouble. That's a straight-up home run against a lefty, and that is long, and that is gone. I'm quite afraid. Kabooma! And that's a two-run shot. Two-run shot for Norm Cash. Stormin' Norman has done it with a two-run shot. And now that E5, all these runs are unearned because of the E5 earlier in the inning, but that doesn't matter. They count. And the Tigers now put up a three-spot lead at 6-2. And I was talking about a close game, and I probably jinxed it. So now Boswell might be looking for some relief. They're going to try to get him through the inning at least anyway. 4-5, and that is a possible error on a throw. So his defense is not helping him either. Horton, 2-3. That is a double to center field. No throw required, but there will be a double for Horton. I'm sorry, it should have been K-line, not Horton. What am I doing? Cards stuck together. It was actually K-line, not Horton. So let's re-look at this at bat here. 2-3 is actually going to be a ground ball to second. So I had them, the cards were stuck together on me and messed me up there. But what didn't mess up with the Tigers, they get 3 runs. They do it on 2 hits, 1 big error, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is 6-2. Favor the Tigers, and that's going to be it for Mr. Boswell. He had the same fate that the earlier game from yesterday that Jim Lomborg had. So some rough times for some of these pitchers. Very rough times. So we'll figure out who the new pitcher is going to be for the Twins next inning. All right, here's Allison trying to rebound for the for the Twins rather. 6-5 strikeout chance against a righty. 11 will do it. He's an 11. Stadium even adds 1, so it will be a strikeout. Denny McLain with the strikeout. Here comes Cesar Tovar. Had that big error. 1-4 strikeout 10. Not going to get him. Tovar will get to swing it. 2-2, and that's a double to right field for Tovar. So Cesar Tovar singles, and now he doubles. So he's in there for his offense, not necessarily his defense. And that'll bring up Solio Versalis. Strategy rolls are still on because it's early. McLain, 3-1, and that's a range play at the park. So we're going to Metropolitan Stadium on a range check. 1-6 is a single to right field, but we're checking the range of K-Line. His range is a 5. And K-Line scoops up that one, no problem. 2 down. 2 down, and Twins are not going to send Tovar. They're down by 4 runs. You don't want to make the third out at third base. That would be a cardinal sin, so they're just going to hold him. And here's Zimmerman. McLain to Zimmerman. 5-6. Struck him out, but 15 is too high, so he didn't strike him out. Zimmerman gets a reprieve. 2-1, he's going to ground to short, and that's going to end the inning as Euler takes care of it. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. 4 innings in the books. It's 6-2 Tigers. And now let's see what the Twins are going to do because Boswell is scheduled to lead off next inning. So let's see if they're going to do a double switch or just bring in somebody to pitch 1 inning, get him through the inning, and then go somewhere else. I think that's what they're going to do. So they're going to bring in a right-hander, Ron Klein, just to pitch the 5th inning. That's his only job, is to pitch the 5th inning. Then they'll go to somebody else after that. So Ron Klein, a right-hander. Mudcat Grant is their long reliever. He would probably come in to pitch the 6th, most likely, depending on what happens. So Willie Horton will be facing Ron Klein, and you can close the book on Boswell. He gave up 6 runs. 6 runs, and all 3 in the 4th inning were unearned. So 6 runs, 3 of them earned. Deserved a better fate, but his defense kind of let him down a little bit. All right, here is Willie Horton. Ron Klein, 1-2 blank. We go to Horton. 1-4, star 6, which is a fly to left, 1 away. Horton is retired, and that's going to bring up Eddie Matthews. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Klein, 4-5, and that's a possible error on a throw. Matthews, 5-3 is a question mark 9. That's a 2. And against right-handers, that's a single to right field, so no error on a throw because no throw is even needed because nobody's on base. But Eddie Matthews gets himself a base hit. His attempt is a 1. And there's nothing happening with that. Here's Bill Freehand, infield looking for the double play. Klein, 4-2, blank to a righty. Freehand, 3-2, star 4. That's a ground ball to second, possible double play. He's a 2. 0 there, keeps it a 2. Halfway makes it a 3. The pivot at short for Salas is a -1, though, so that's going to drop him to a 2. But it's a 1, so they turn a double play anyway to end the inning. So 4-6-3 double play. Carew to Versailles to Killebrew to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. So Klein does his job, pitches the 1 inning. Klein goes 1 inning, gives up a hit and nothing else. And we'll get a new pitcher for the Twins in the 6th. That would be Mudcat Grant. But right now we need a pinch hitter because Klein is the leadoff man scheduled in this inning. So who will pinch hit for the Twins? Looking at their bench, we got Rich Reese and Sandy Valdespino, lefties. So we're going to go with Rich Reese. Rich Reese will pinch hit to start off the bottom of the 5th, try to get something started for the Twins. And Mudcat Grant will take over on the mound for the Twins in the top of the 6th, as he is their long reliever. All right, McLain to pinch hitter Reese. 2-5, and he's not tired, so there's no single there. Go to Reese. 6-4, and that's a ground ball to second. Easy play for McAuliffe, and that's 1 away. So Reese fails in the pinch. Top of the order now for Eulander. 1-2, that's a possible error on the throw. 6-4, that's a fly to right, so no throw to worry about. K-line puts it away, 2 down for Mr. Rodney Carew. 3-1, that's a range play at the ballpark. 2-6, that's a pop-up to the catcher. Range of Freehand. Freehand is a 3. Freehand is a 3. He fails on that, so I believe that's a foul ball as far as I know. RJO, I believe a failed pop-up to the catcher. Let me check the chart. Failed range play on a pop-up to the catcher. Foul P2. Should just be a foul ball. So the way I'm looking at the chart, it's just a foul ball, not an error. So it's a foul ball that didn't drop in for a hit or anything. It's just a foul ball. So Carew will swing again against McLain. 5-3. Strikeout chance, 14 too high. We go to Carew. 6-1. It's a double to right field for Rodney Carew. So Rod Carew, a 2-out double. Tries to get something sparked for the Twins if possible. Nothing on the havoc roll here is Harmon Killebrew. McLain, 3-6, struck him out. But no, it's 9's too high. 9 plus the 1 is a 10, but that was an 11, so no strikeout. Killebrew fouls it off and gets another chance. 3-2, and that is a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. 5 innings are complete and in the books here in Minneapolis, and the Tigers still lead it by the score of 6-2. And now we need a new pitcher for the Twins, and it's going to be Mr. Mudcat Grant. Jim Mudcat Grant will be on the mound, and he's finishing up those warm-up tosses. He'll be facing Northrup Euler, and McLain, bottom portion of the order. Check something real quick, see if I can fix this a little bit better. Hopefully, I don't know if that is any better or not. We shall see. It's probably about the same. Or I might have made it worse, who knows. I'm just going to drive on. How about that? All right, Northrop, 2-6 from Grant is a walk plus, so that will be a walk. He's a -1 here, makes him a 7, but the plus makes him a 17. 16 fits, and Northrop will draw the free pass. And it seems like the Tigers have a runner on almost every inning. Northrop, attempt of 1, but a -1 from Grant, so no attempt to worry about. Check for a pickoff, and strategy rolls are going to be going away very shortly. Grant, 4-1's a blank. We go to Euler. 5-5. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Now, again, that's a -1 on the double play result when you hit it back to the pitcher. Grant's a +1, but the ground ball back to the pitcher negates that, makes that a 0. He's a 3. So 1-3, and they'll turn the double play. And they do. So it's going to go 1-4-3 double play for 2 quick outs. So even the -1 back to the pitcher did not hurt them, as they get a friendly D6 roll. So 2 down for the pitcher McLain. 3-6 as a strikeout got him to end the inning. So Mudcat Grant, after giving up the leadoff walk, has no problem anywhere else. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 6-2. Favor of the Tigers, and it seems like McLain's in control. He'll be facing Oliva, Allison, and Tovar. He can face 26 batters. So far, he has faced 21, so he's still all right. Oliva, I say 2-3 on McLain's a blank. Go to Oliva. 3-2, and that's a pop-up to the first baseman. And Norm Cash will put that away. 1 down for Bob Allison. McLain, 2-3, blank again. Go to Allison. 3-2. Second time I've done that. That's a fly to right. Second time in a row I've done a 2-3 on McLain and then a 3-2 on the batter. That's weird. Here's McLain. 4-6 this time. Strikeout too high. I'm not going to strike out Tovar on that. Tovar, 1-2 is going to ground it to short, though, and Euler takes care of it. 3 up and 3 down go the Twins, as they seem a little deflated. And McLain just seems to get stronger as the game goes on. So nothing doing for the Twins. We go to the 7th inning. It's 6-2 Detroit. And let's see. Grant can face 5 batters before he tires. He's only faced 3, so he's still okay. Going to be facing McAuliffe, Cash, and Kaline. 5-3 is a blank. We go to McAuliffe. 5-2. It's question mark 8 to center field. That's a 17. That's a triple. The last number is a triple there. So McAuliffe will triple to center field. How about that? McAuliffe has been a thorn in the side of the Twins the whole game. He's walked twice, scored, hit a sacrifice fly, and now he's led off the top of the 7th with a triple. And that's going to force them to bring the infield in. And that might be it for Grant. They might want to bring a lefty in to face Norm Cash. So Grant's going to leave because he'd be tired on the next at bat anyway. And they're going to a lefty out of the bullpen, Jim Rowland. So Jim Rowland is going to be on. His job, no double switches, his job is just to get him out of the 7th inning. So Jim Rowland will be on. Grant's going to go 1+ innings. Walking a strikeout and a hit, and then, of course, he's responsible for the runner at third base. So now the infield is in with the new pitcher, Rowland, who does have the special K. That could help him out as well. Strategy rolls are now off. So we're just going to go ahead and roll the at-bat with the infield in. Rowland, 6-3. It's an automatic out against a lefty. See how tough he is against lefties. So automatic out. Let's see what the automatic out is. That's a 1. It's a ground ball to second. And with the infield in, the runner McAuliffe drops to a 2. They're not going to risk it with nobody out. They'll see if somebody else can do something. It's just a ground ball to Carew for 1 away. That brings up Al Kaline. And they're going to give Kaline a free pass. They're going to try to set up a double play on Willie Horton. So they're going to walk Kaline and set up a double play possibility here for Willie Horton. Infield is at double play depth. So they're going to try to turn 2 on Mr. Horton. 5-6, and that's a blank to a righty. Would have been a home run chance to a lefty. Righty was a blank, so let's go to Horton. 4-1, it's a single to right field, so that strategy backfires as Horton singles to bring home McAuliffe, make it now 7-2. And now to right fielder, the runner is Kaline, who runs at a 4, and the right fielder arm, Oliva, is a 0. So that means to give him first to third, you add 2, so he was already a 4, he becomes a 6, so he'll make third without a throw. So now runners are at the corners for Eddie Matthews. Roland trying to get out of this mess. Infield is now in. They can't afford to not get a double play. They're going to have to come in. I shouldn't have rolled that because there's no strategy roll now. Roland, 2-5. Strikeout chance, 13 gets him. So big strikeout there. And Matthews has got the hat trick. He struck out 3 times. That's 2 away for Bill Freehand. Now the question is, well, I guess at this point, bringing another pitcher is probably not going to matter. So they'll let Roland pitch. 5-3. That's a blank to a right-hander. We go to Freehand. 4-5, and that is a single to right field. So it's a base hit for Freehand. That's going to score another run. This one is the first one charged to Roland. It is now 9-2 Detroit. Horton is a 2. Give him first to third. You add 2, makes it a 4. So let's see if he'll make it. He does. He makes it, and with the throw, Freehand has a chance to move up, and he does. So Freehand will take second on the throw to third, and things just going from bad to worse for the Tigers, for the Twins rather, as Horton is now at third base. So with 2 outs, and runners are at second and third for Northrop. Roland just trying to get out of the inning. 1-3. It's a home run question mark, but that fails, so no home run chance for Northrop. 6-2, ground ball to third. The inning is finally over as Tovar throws over there. But 2 more runs for the Tigers. And we go to the 7th inning stretch with the score. Detroit, I said 9. It's really 8. Detroit 8-2. My bad. I don't want to make it worse than it already is. It's 8-2 in favor of the Tigers. That's all for Roland. He's going to be done for the day. McLain, see how he's doing on his fatigue. He faced 26 batters. He has faced 24. So bullpen activity for the Tigers is looming. But right now, let's see who's in the bullpen for the Tigers. It looks like, let's see, it's obviously not a save situation. So it looks like Fred Lasher is loosening the pen for the Tigers. Fred Lasher. And for the Twins, they will be looking to bring in Jim Olam, a left-hander. He'll be the new pitcher next inning for the Twins. Jim Olam. All right. So that's it for Mr. Roland. So now Versalis will lead it off against McLain. 5-5. Home run question mark. That passes. Versalis is a 4, so he needs a 4 or less to hit the home run. He does not. It's a 5. He just misses it, so he'll swing, though. 2-4, and he's going to star 6 it, which is a fly to right. 1 away. Now, this is batter number 26 right here, Jerry Zimmerman, and then we'll get a pinch hitter for Roland. Will probably be Nixon, most likely. McLain, 2-5. He's not tired. He'll be tired on the next at bat. So here's Zimmerman. 4-4, ground ball to short, 2 down. So 2 down, the base is empty. So the Twins will go to their bench for a pinch hitter for the pitcher. And we'll see who they're going to go to. They may go to somebody that can hit a home run. I don't know. They may not worry about righty-lefty at this point. In fact, they're not. They're going to Rich Rollins. So Rich Rollins will pinch hit for the Twins. 2 out, space is clear. McLain is tired, but he's going to try to finish the inning. 6-6 blank. We go to Rollins. 2-5, ground ball to third, innings over. And that's going to do it for McLain. He's going to go 7 innings, give up just the 2 runs. Solid outing for McLain. He's going to go 7 innings, give up the 2 runs. Let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits I've got him for. So 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, and 2 runs. Pretty good deal for McLain. So Rollins is done. He is out of there. Jim Olam is your new pitcher for the Twins. And for the Tigers, it'll be Euler, a pinch hitter for McLain, and then McAuliffe. Olam, 4-3 blank. We go to Ray Euler. 6-3, it's a fly to left field, 1 down. And now we'll get a pinch hitter from McLain as his day is done. Mayo Smith shakes his hand as he's in the dugout, telling him to take the rest of the day off, or night off, I should say. And we'll look at the Tigers bench and see who they want to bring in. All right, Chuck Rollins, since you are a Tiger fan, I will give you the freedom to pick any of these guys here on the bench to pinch hit. You get to choose. Since you're a Tiger fan, I let RJL pick the Mets stuff, so I'll let you pick the Tiger stuff. If you want to pinch hit with Gates Brown, we'll do that. Although we're facing a lefty, the righties are Price, Stanley. We could do Stanley or Strzelecki or Wirt. Let's see. We got Mickey Stanley. We got Don Wirt. They're all from the right-hand side. Gates Brown's not very good. So I'm leaning towards Stanley or Wirt, but actually Wirt has a better average. But Stanley, okay, we'll go with Stanley. He's a 210 hitter, but we'll go with Stanley anyway. That's what we will do. It's 8-2, so it really doesn't matter, does it? Most likely, anyway. So Stanley, with 1 out and the bases clear, will pinch hit for McLain. Olam, 5-6 is a blank. We go to Stanley. 1-6, ground ball to short. That's 2 down. Stanley is out of there. And back to top of the order for McAuliffe. Olam, 5-1, strikeout chance, got him. That's going to end the inning. So Olam goes 1-2-3 here in the 8th. A rare 1-2-3 inning turned in by the Tigers. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 8-2. And the Tigers will need a new pitcher. And let's look in their bullpen. It's going to be Eulander, Carew, and Killebrew. So you're looking probably at lefties here, unless you want to do Fred Lasher. Actually, the only lefty you have in the pen is Hank Aguirre, because John Hiller is going to start in 2 days. So he would normally be in the pen, but he's starting in 2 days on one of those doubleheader games, so can't use him. So I'm looking at Hank Aguirre possibly with 3 out of 4 lefties coming up. But it is 8-2, so they could go with somebody with some length that could just finish out the game and not cause them to use 2 pitchers at one time. So I'm kind of leaning that way. We're going to go with Fred Lasher, because he can face 7 batters. They can hopefully get him through 2 innings and not use up their bullpen. They do have the doubleheader coming up shortly, so they got to conserve the bullpen as much as they can. So it will be Fred Lasher facing Ted Eulander. 1-4, it's a strikeout chance. 9 is going to be too high. Go to Eulander. 4-6, that's a single to shortstop. So Eulander hits a single that Euler knocks down but can't make a play. And he gets a base hit. He's now 2 for 4 in the game, is Eulander. And that'll bring up Mr. Carew, Mr. Rodney Carew. 4-2, and that is a walk chance. and he will walk him. So he's a 6, -1's a 5, but that's a 5, so that fits. So Lasher having a little bit of a tough go of it, a single and now a walk. And Mayo Smith will not take kindly to this, so if he can't get his act together, they'll bring in somebody else. Here's Killebrew. Lasher, 4-1, he's not tired. Go to Killebrew. 4-1 again, it's a fly to left, 1 away. So he gets Killebrew for 1 out. And that brings up Oliva. Lasher, 6-1, strikeout chance 9, too high. We go to Oliva. 4-3, and that's a single pass second base. Single pass second, a runner on second needs a speed of only a 2 to score. So obviously Eulander's a 4, he will score it. And Carew, to get to third, he needs a 3, he's a 4, so he will take third base. So RBI single for Tony Oliva will score Eulander to make it an 8-3 game and move Carew to third base. Still only 1 out, and the Tiger bullpen starting to stir again, as we might be getting down to the lefties. We shall see, although the Twins have a lot of righties coming up, so might be looking at Fred Gladding here very shortly, if not Mike Marshall. So here is Lasher to Allison, 4-2, and that is a walk chance. 16, though, will walk him. He's an 18, -1's a 17, but that 16 fits. Lasher's going to walk him to load the bases. And I think Mayo Smith has seen enough to know he's seen too much. And Lasher is coming out of there. Lasher's day is done, or night is done, as you might say. Bases are loaded with 1 out. And let's see who they're going to go to. They're actually, they're going to go to Fred Gladding to try to finish this thing out. Try to get 5 outs for a save. And believe it or not, it would be a save with the situation, I think, because it's 8-3, bases loaded. That's 4, 5, 6, batter 7, on deck is 8. So, yeah, if he finishes it out, it would be a save situation. So Gladding to Tovar. Infield is back for the double play. 2-3, strikeout chance 5. Got him. He's a 4, +1's the 5, gets him. So Gladding gets the strikeout on Tovar. And that's 2 away for Rosales. And we're going to get a pinch hitter for Rosales, I would imagine, because he's a 200 hitter and they need offense. Any offense they can muster, they need. Although, honestly, there's not a whole lot on the bench. But they might be able to go to a lefty now since the righty is in the game pitching. So let's see if they're going to go to maybe Rich Reese. They already did Rich Reese. They got Valdespino, Nixon. They're going to go to Russ Nixon. So Russ Nixon will hit for Rosales. And then the new shortstop will be Jackie Hernandez in the top of the 9th. So that's all for Rosales. Jackie Hernandez will be the new shortstop. So Hernandez and Nixon. That leaves Costco and Valdespino on the bench. All right, bases are loaded with 2 outs and Russ Nixon the batter. Big at bat here, Russ Nixon. Gladding, 1-3, strikeout 14, too high. We go to Nixon. 6-5, it's a single to right field for Nixon, so the pinch hitting genius of the manager comes through again. You just don't get this kind of managing anywhere else, folks, I'm telling you. That's a base hit. Carew will score. Single is to right field. Right fielder arm is Kalon, who's a -1, so Detroit. Second to home on a single to right is a 0. So whatever the runner is at second, there's no alteration to that. And that runner is Oliva. He is a 3. So 1-3, and Oliva will make it. He does. So Oliva scores. Now, can the runner on first that was on first go to third? So far it's a 2-run single. Allison runs at a 3 to go from first to third on a single to right. It's a +2. And with 2 outs makes it a +3, so he will make third automatically. So it's a big RBI single for Russ Nixon. As the run scores, 3 runs are in. It's now 8-5. And all of a sudden, things are getting interesting here in Metropolitan Stadium. Zimmerman is up to bat, but he will be called back. And Nixon will take over to catch. And they'll need a pinch hitter for Nixon. I'm sorry, for Zimmerman. And that will be Mr. Val Despino. A 165 hitter pinch hits for a 167 hitter, but he's left-handed, so he might catch a break. So now Nixon will take over and catch and bat in the 8th position going forward. But Gladding has to get out of this. It is now 8-5. Runners on the corners and 2 outs. Oh, just one roll for everyone? Okay. Well, actually, the runner on first didn't need the roll because with 2 outs and the runner factor and his speed, he was going to be a 6 anyway. So, but thanks for the heads up on that. All right, here's Gladding to Val Despino, 6'4", and against a lefty, that's why you use the left. Again, you don't get managing like anywhere else, folks. Who's gonna put in a 165 hitter to pinch hit and get a hit because he's left-handed, playing the splits? There you go, single, S1. Make it 8-6 as Allison comes around to score, or is at third, he scores. We'll see about whether the runner on first goes to third. It is Nixon. He doesn't run very well, I don't believe. Let me check his run rating. He runs at a 1. With 2 outs, it becomes a 2. On an S1, I don't think you can get to third. Nope, you need a 4 to get to third, so he will stop at second base. But the run is in. 4 runs are in for the Twins. It is now an 8-6 ball game, and Fred Gladding may be needing some relief. So Fred Gladding was not the answer. He is not Gladdings of good times and joy to all people. So he will have to leave the game, and they will bring on Mr. Marshall. Mike Marshall is going to try to close this out and get a 4-out save since Gladding couldn't get it done. So now we need a pinch hitter for the pitcher because we're at the pitcher spot. Olam, he's gone. Valdespino got the big base hit, and now the last guy on the bench, last pinch hitter left on the bench, Andy Costco is going to have to pinch hit. He's the best hitter they have at off the bench at 143. You're not going to use a pitcher to pinch hit. I mean, that just wouldn't be realistic. So they're going to go with Costco against Marshall. 2 outs, 4 are in, and 2 are on. Tying runs are on base. Marshall, 1-4, strikeout chance, got him. So Marshall gets out of the mess, cleans up the mess left by Gladding. 4 runs are in for the Twins. They sent 9 to the plate. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits and 2 walks later. And they leave 2 on base. So we go to the 9th. It is now 8-6. And coming in to pitch for the Twins is Al Worthington. He is their closer. He's also the last guy they left in the bullpen, so they don't have much choice. So Al Worthington is on. He will pitch the top of the 9th for the Twins in this 8-6 game. He'll be facing Cash, Kaline, and Horton. Cash has singled and homered. Worthington, 6'3", a blank to a lefty. Strikeout plus to a righty. Cash, 2-1, flies to left, 1 away. So 1 down to start the 9th. And now Al Kaline, the batter. 3-4, and he's not tired, so there's no single there. Kaline, 5-1, single to left field for Al Kaline. So Kaline will single. He's doubled, singled, and walked twice. One of those was intentional. So he's aboard for Willie Horton. 3-2, and that's a range play at the ballpark. Infield is halfway. Range play at the park. 5-5, the fly to center field. Range check on Eulander, who is a range of 3. This is huge. He can't get it. Is it going to be a single or a double? It's a single to center field. Now, can K-Line take third base? We shall see. First to third on a single to center field is a -1. And let's see, K-Line runs at a 4, so 1-3, and he will make third base. Oops. 1-3, and he will make third base. He does not. It's a 6. The 0 arm means a 1-3. We go to the third chart, 4-6. He holds the second. He holds at second base. So K-Line put on the brakes real quick on the Horton single. And now 2 are on with 1 out for Eddie Matthews, who really hasn't done anything in this game. He did get a single, but he struck out the other 3 times. Worthington 6-4. That's a pitcher result. Against a lefty, 1-9 is a single. That's an 8. So the fact he's left-handed gets him an S1 single. That will score the runner from second. And let's see, can the runner on first go to third? Horton cannot. He has to hold at second base. But scoring is K-Line. An insurance run comes in for Detroit. It is now 9-6. As even the closer Worthington, sometimes you bring these closers in a non-closing situation, they can't handle it. So 9-6 your score with 1 out. Worthington 6-6 is a possible wild pitch, and it is a wild pitch. It's going to move both runners up. And now the infield is going to have to come in on the wild pitch. Takes the double play out of the equation for Freehand. 6-4, pitcher result. That's a 3. It is a 1-3 there, and that's a 3. It's a 2-run single for Freehand, and the pitcher results have been killing Worthington. It's a 2-run single. 3 runs are in. It is now 11-6, and the Tigers have just blown this thing open. Against the closer, Worthington of all people. Worthington's almost tired. This is batter number 6. 6-5, strikeout chance, 13 too high. We go to Northrop. 4-3, fly to left field for out number 2. Oops, should be a runner at first. My bad. So out number 2. Now Worthington is tired. So he's got to avoid one of those parentheses rolls for sure. 5-5, strikeout chance gets Euler to end the inning. But the Tigers respond to the 4 in the 8th by the Twins with getting 3 of their own. And they now lead it by the score of 11-6. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Twins. Remember, Marshall can get the save because he came in last inning when it was close. So he can still qualify for the save. He's got to face the top of the order. Eulander, Carew, and Killebrew. Nobody left on the bench for the Twins. So if it gets to the pitcher spot, the pitcher's going to have to hit. If they get that far. Marshall now against Eulander. 1-4, strikeout chance, 18 too much. We go to Eulander. 3-1, single to center field. What, did you expect a 1-2-3 ninth inning and an inside pitch? Even RJL knows better than that. So it's a leadoff single for Eulander. Whoops, Carew got upset. All these guys got upside down. How'd you get upside down here? Twins all getting all stirred up and upside down here. Trying to get it going. Rod Carew. 2-2, range play. 3-2, fly to center field. We're checking the range of the center fielder. That is Northrop. He is a range of 3. And he can't get it. Single or double. That's going to be a base hit to center field. Base hit to center field for Carew. Eulander runs at a 4. Single to center is a -1, makes him a 3. And he has to hold at second base. So runners at first and second. First 2 are on. So Marshall's got to be careful. He can face 7 batters. This is batter number 4. Killebrew can make it interesting with one swing of the bat. Marshall 4-4, strikeout chance. That's not going to be very interesting for Killebrew. That's a strikeout. Big strikeout there, one away, but Oliva is still ready to bat, and he's tough. Marshall 1-3. That's a straight up home run chance. That's a 4. He's a 15. That is long, and that is so gone. Tony Oliva crushes one to right field, and what do you know? Those 3 runs, they get right back and get back in this game. It's now 11-9. 11-9 now. And now Marshall's in trouble as the Tigers can't stand the lead. What a wild first game. If all the games are like this, it's going to be a rockin' raucous replay. All right. Hello, Tim. Didn't see you there. All right. That's going to bring up Allison. Marshall in trouble. 4-1. Double question mark. Is he tired? No, he's not. He's faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is batter number 6. He can face 7, so he's not tired. The double question mark on the pitcher result. 13. 1-17 against a right-hander is a single, though, so it's a base hit for Allison. And now the Tigers might have to go to somebody else to try to close the deal, as Marshall can't get it done. Let's look in their bullpen and see if they got anybody that has a save. Maybe Hank Aguirre. He has no saves. Wickersham does have 4 saves. So Dave Wickersham, a right-hander, is loosening the pen should Marshall falter and not be able to finish this game. So Cesar Tovar is your batter. The tying run is now at the plate. Marshall 4-3 against a right-hander. That's a blank. Go to Tovar. 2-1, fly to left. That's 2 down. So now Marshall is now tired. That was batter number 7. So he is now tired. If he hits the question mark result, he has to come out. But he's going to face the very light-hitting Jackie Hernandez, his first at bat since a pinch hit for Rosales. So Marshall might get a reprieve here because the Twins just ran out of good players. Hello, Mr. Craig. How you doing? Didn't see you in there late. Better late than never, as I always say. Marshall trying to end it. 5-2. Strikeout chance 9. Got him. There's your ball game. Mike Marshall made it interesting. Made Mayo Smith get a couple packs of cigarettes or a couple puffs on a cigarette. Twins score 4 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th after Denny McLain left the game to total 9 runs. Fortunately for their offense totaled 11. So it's 11-9 your final in this one as the Tigers hang on and win it. And with that victory, the Tigers now improved to 75-60. They are now 1 game out, actually tied in the loss column with Boston, but 2 games short on the wins, which means 1 game out. Minnesota 75-59. So they are a half a game out now from the Twins, from the Red Sox. So after the September 2nd games, Boston holds a half-game lead over Minnesota, a 1-game lead over Detroit, and a 1.5-game lead over Chicago. And like I said, we got the whole month of September to go, plus October the 1st. So the next video will be on Sunday, and we'll be playing the September 3rd games. But the Detroit-Minnesota game will be offline. The video will be Chicago at Boston. And let me see if I got the score sheet for that to tell you who the starting pitchers are. Yes, I do. Tommy John against Lee Stange. Stang or Stange, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm not sure if it rhymes with strange or whether it rhymes with Mustang. It's Stang, S-T-A-N-G-E. So I'm not sure if it's Stang or Stange. But it is Tommy John for the White Sox. He will be the starter in that game. So, well, a wild first game, I tell you. Let me get the totals real quick while we're finishing things up. Winning pitcher, Denny McLain. Bullpen almost blew it for him, but he is the winning pitcher. And the losing pitcher is Boswell. The save does go to Marshall, although he didn't pitch all that well. He pitched well enough to get the save. So let's check errors in the game. There was 1 big error on the Twins on Tovar, and I think that was the only error that I remember. I don't think the Tigers had any. Hits, let's check the hits for the Tigers. Their total of hits 3, 5, 6, 8. I've got him for 12. 11 runs and 12 hits. There were lots of walks in the game too, but 11 runs and 12 hits is what I've got for the Tigers. For the Twins, let's see, in the ninth, they got 4 more hits. They got 4 hits in the eighth and 4 in the ninth for a total of 8. And then the rest of the game, they had 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they had 14 hits total. 9 runs and 14 hits. But they also left a lot of guys on base. So final line score for the Tigers, 11 runs, 12 hits, no errors. For the Twins, 9 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error. Winning pitcher Danny McLain, losing pitcher Dave Boswell. Mike Marshall gets the save. So next video on the channel will be tomorrow at approximately 2 p.m. Eastern. It'll be Stratomatic, the NBC game of the week between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. Interestingly enough, that was a game that was never played according to the record book, because it ended in a 7-7 tie due to rain, and they just wiped everything out and replayed it as a doubleheader the next day, but they kept the player stats. So actually there's no win or loss in that game. So if you look it up, on May 19th, 1973, Dodgers in Atlanta, the game ended in I believe it was the top of the 13th, 7-7 due to rain. And instead of finishing the game, they just called it right there and moved it to a doubleheader and replayed the whole game. But they kept all the stats, player stats and whatnot. So that's going to be the game on Saturday, roughly 2 o'clock Eastern, give or take a few minutes. And then on Sunday, we'll be back for the 67. I don't know. It might be a recorded one because I'm going to be gone most of the day on Sunday. And I may not have time to do it Sunday night. I'm not sure. Most likely it'll be recorded. It'll be Chicago and Boston. And that is Tommy John against Lee Stang, or Stange, however you want to pronounce it. Gracie did wonderfully. She sat here right beside me, has been quiet the whole night. Tabby sat on her box over there. She's been quiet the whole night. Haven't heard a peep out of either one of them. I'm very happy about that. I was worried that I was going to get my be right back sign and take lots of breaks and deal with them, but they were wonderful and allowed me to get through this game unscathed, as they say. So that's it from Metropolitan Stadium. Thanks to everybody that came by for this one. And inside pitch, like I said, like Robert says, inside pitch, you never know what's going to happen, and you get some wild games. So this is going to be fun to enter this into the PC replay. It's going to take a while to do that because of all the run scoring, but we'll get it in there. I do that just to get some player stats. I'm not really keeping player stats. The only stats I'm keeping are wins and losses for the teams. So September the 2nd, we can start counting them down. So right now on my calendar, I have scratched off, we have finished September 2nd. We're on to September the 3rd now. And we'll just keep going all the way down until we get to October 1st. And starting once we get to the 4th, I'll have a whole clean version of the standing series. So you won't see all the scratching and stuff. I'll have a nice clean version of that. Lots of there are 4 doubleheaders on the 4th. So it's 8 games that need to be played. It's going to take a while for me to play these 8 games. So, or at least 6 of them, and then play a doubleheader maybe on video. I'm leaning toward Boston and Washington for the doubleheader on video, and playing these 6 games offline on Inside Pitch. But we'll see how it goes. I want to get through the September 3rd games, and then I'll worry about the other games otherwise. So anyway, like I said, thanks for all you guys that tuned in. I hope you like this setup with the stadium and everything. I know in RJ, I don't want to steal RJL's. Already did a little bit a couple years ago, stealing his board setup. I want to do something that kind of is I want that to be his. I don't want to be using his stuff. So I like this. This works well for me and my little base running tokens and everything. So I don't have to worry about having the cards out there. And that way, because I get confused sometimes when I have base runners that get out of order and whatnot. So that's what we got. So like I said, tomorrow afternoon, roughly 2 o'clock, maybe 2:15, somewhere in that neighborhood, the NBC game of the week between the Dodgers and the Braves. And that'll be on Stratomatic. So we'll be ready to get our Stratitude on tomorrow. So see how that goes. This one kind of wore me out because I kept thinking the game was over and the Twins kept coming back. So Tigers held on by the skin of their teeth, I guess you should say. So that's going to do it from here. RJL, happy birthday to you. Hope you have a wonderful time at the game tomorrow. And for everyone else, thank you for spending part of your Friday night with me. Tigers win, barely. They hang on 11-9, made it closer than it should have been. So until tomorrow, when we do Stratomatic, that's going to do it from here. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.